Adrienne Curry won season 1 of America's Next Top Model in 2003. She fought her way to victory, competing for the title against other aspiring models that wanted to break into the modeling industry. Every week, the contestants of the show had to do a photo shoot, and the model with the worst photos got sent home. The winner of the show usually got a contract with a modeling agency and a feature in a magazine along with other prizes. For winning the competition, which only had 10 girls instead of the usual 12 or more, Adrienne got a modeling contract with Wilhelmina Models in New York City, a photo spread in Marie Claire magazine, and a contract with Revlon Cosmetics. Adrienne grew up in Joliet, Illinois, and came from a humble background. She worked as a waitress before going on America's Next Top Model, which she did in hopes of helping out her family financially. So whatever happened to Adrienne Curry? Well, after Adrienne won America's Next Top Model, she thought all of her problems would be over, but she didn't know that most of her problems were just beginning. She deserved all the rewards that was supposed to come with the win, but unfortunately, she wasn't given what was promised. With the broken promises of modeling jobs and money, life wasn't all that it cracked up to be following the win. There ended up being what most people are calling a feud between Adrienne and America's Next Top Model. 2Fab reported what Adrienne said about the situation. Adrienne was asked, "Why the fallout?" And she said, "We were led to believe daily the winner would be instantly rich and a huge Revlon cover girl. That was a lie." They added recordings to what was said after the fact. After the show, Revlon informed me it didn't matter who won, they were never going to have us as a model. Wilhelmina informed me that Top Model burned their bridge with them by choosing IMG the next season and dumping them. Adrienne also said that her own agency hated her and did more to promote third place winner Elise Sewell to spite Tyra. Adrienne also said, "I hated my Adrienne. I begged Top Model to help me leave my agency. I didn't get paid, and I was locked in a contract with an agency they pissed off." She did not believe Tyra would do all the work for her, but hoped for help to break from the agency they pissed off, as she was stuck in a contract with people who wanted her to fail. Despite the fact with everything that had happened with America's Next Top Model, Adrienne was still able to get booked for modeling jobs. Like, for example, some of the magazines she modeled for included People and Life and Style. She also did some runway shows, like, for example, Pamela Anderson's line. As per Adrienne's website, it states that she was a regular fixture on reality television show as a participant, host, and producer. She was named one of Maxim's Hot 100, Playboy's 25 Sexiest Celebrities, and was even anointed Queen of the Nerds by none other than Stan Lee himself. In 2005, Adrienne decided to star in the 4th season of VH1's Surreal Life, with one of her roommates being none other than Christopher Knight, who is best known for his 70s TV role as Peter Brady from The Brady Bunch. While they all lived in a house together, Adrienne fell in love with Christopher so fast that she bought a bridal magazine 14 days after she met him. She just knew that he was going to be her husband. Adrienne relentlessly went after Christopher until he finally gave in and they started dating. Christopher was apprehensive on dating Adrienne because of their age difference. Not long after leaving the Surreal Life house, Adrienne and Christopher starred in their own reality TV show called My Fair Brady, where the show was about their relationship blossoming. And at the season finale, Christopher got down on one knee and asked Adrienne to marry him, and she happily said yes. Now, although the first season was about them being boyfriend and girlfriend to getting engaged, the second season was about them planning their wedding. And in 2006, Adrienne and Christopher got married in front of 250 people in a VH1 special called My Fair Brady Wedding. They also had a third season that focused on Adrienne getting breast implants and the struggles of marriage. Adrienne also posed for Playboy in 2006 and said the reason she did it was because of Tyra Banks. She says it's 200% to give top model the finger. And in 2007, Adrienne and Christopher went on Dr. Phil to talk about their relationship and their age gap. They talked a lot about their fighting style and how they're both affected by the way they fight. Dr. Phil told them that fighting doesn't predict what will end a relationship. What does predict it is what happens during the fight, and specifically how you end a fight. If there is a point in the argument or the topic, the issue goes by the wayside and is a take no prisoner and character assassination becomes the order of the day and your goal is to hurt the other person, if that is your fighting pattern, there is a 9.5 out of 10 chance you're going to wind up in divorce in the next 5 years. And Dr. Phil said Adrienne and Christopher both fight like that. And in 2008, she was in Gimme My Reality Show, where celebrities fought for a chance to have their own reality show. And from 2010 to 2012, Adrienne was on the reality TV show called The Tester, where people competed in a variety of challenges to win a job at Sony Computer Entertainment in quality assurance as a game tester. And with all the information that was out in the media about Adrienne's and Christopher's relationship, it was no surprise that they ended up getting divorced. In 2011, Adrienne and Christopher ended up separating on their 5th wedding anniversary. She says that I'm a really loyal person who is not looking at other people during relationships. Once that kind of thing starts happening, I'm like, no. I left him and moved out in August 2011. And in 2012, Adrienne had her own show called Adrienne Curry Superfans, where she takes her love of all things geek and explores the lives of hardcore fans. Adrienne is a self-proclaimed nerd, so it wasn't a surprise that she went to Comic-Con dressed as Poison Ivy in 2014. But what she was not expecting was to be sexually assaulted. She told TooFab that a fan came up behind her and yelled comic books and grabbed her boobs and slapped her ass and then started running away. But what Adrienne was upset about is even though she was surrounded by a lot of men, not one of them did anything. Adrienne is currently one of the top sellers when it comes to selling Avon. Yup, Avon. So how did Adrienne start selling Avon? Well, in an interview with HuffPost, she said that in 2017 she had a tumor on her uterus. It ended up being benign, but she had major surgery and watched Edward Scissorhands while she was high as a kite on Percocet. There was an Avon lady in the movie. While she was totally loopy and out of it watching, she apparently went online and signed up for an Avon kit. She was in the habit of posting funny videos online where she reviewed stuff and thought she'd do the same and post some crazy review of the Avon products. But she ended up actually really liking the products, so she started selling Avon. And she is still selling Avon to this day. Now, according to People.com, Adrienne got engaged to Matthew Rode, who works as a voiceover actor, a year before they eloped, which was on September 15, 2018, in a Game of Thrones themed wedding. Adrienne called her wedding one of the best weekends of her life and explained why she kept the ceremony small and private. She said that the stress and agony of wedding planning is just not for her. She wanted an intimate and meaningful wedding. People oppose their career changes, their lifestyle changes, etc. It made sense to just do the thing in a personal way and save for our future. After Adrienne and Matthew got married, they decided to move away and quit Hollywood. Adrienne said, "I was so traumatized with my reality TV experiences, I ended up going to years of therapy. I felt like I was being watched in my home and had nightmares of cameras everywhere. I also didn't trust anyone anymore with how much I was manipulated and lied to in front and behind the lenses. Quitting the industry was surprisingly very easy to do." Adrienne and her husband currently live in Montana together. And in the beginning of this year, 2020, Adrienne decided to get her breast implants removed. She says, "I only got them because my ex-husband would tease me that one of my boobs was bigger than the other." Her breast implant surgery wasn't without complications. She said, "She had a hematoma so big it looked like I got only one fake titty." A hematoma is a collection of blood outside of a blood vessel that's usually a result of trauma of any kind. It's not uncommon in post-surgery patients, but is quite serious and must be dealt with accordingly. So Adrienne needed a second surgery. Now she encourages people to not get breast implants. And if you want to keep up with Adrienne, you can follow her on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Adrienne Curry, and her website www.adriennecurry.com. You can also check out her YouTube channel called Adrienne Curry. We wish nothing but the best for Adrienne Curry. And do you want to find out whatever happened to one of your past favorites? Please tell us which ones in the comments, and it could be made into a video. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now make sure to push that subscribe button. Why not? It's free, so you can find out whatever happened to all your favorites.